What is on your mind? This is a lovely home you have here. The build is good quality, and it smells woody.
This place is homely, I'll grant you that.
I'm afraid not. How can I help you, my friend? Whatever you say. Why don't you give those legs of yours a break? Join me. We should rest while we can. We have to keep our strength up. My friend, do you mind if I ask you something? Okay. Langley is a very interesting man. He knows a lot about me, and there is a great deal of evidence that his visions usually come to pass. All that said, we have only just met him. In your heart of hearts, do you think we can trust him? I feel the same way. He has many flaws, but who doesn't? Even though we have just met, he has been a part of my life for years. He is a good man. Hearing your opinion has eased my mind. Thank you, my friend. There is something else I am compelled to mention. When you were outside getting those eggs, I told Langley about how you spared my life and my debt to you. He questioned my memory. He said my mind has been through a lot with this skooma, the grief, and the endless battles and so on. He suggested that maybe you are not the person I remember.
Honeyside.
What does Langley know anyway? He does not know you like I do. He does not know about our shared past. No, I will not entertain such a silly idea. I am not confused. I would know you anywhere. You are my friend. End of story. He is just jealous of our friendship. Pay it no mind. Anyway, that is all I wanted to say. Let us talk of other things. Yes, I have never been very good though. I enjoy writing songs, but sometimes it is more fun just making up words as I go along. Improvisation keeps the mind sharp and boredom at bay. Maybe, but nothing too serious. I would rather save my proper songs for the Bard's College. For now, anyway. Well, I know it is silly, but my songs are special to me. I would rather perform them in a special place. However, if you just want me to improvise something while we are traveling, maybe I can help you out. We will see.
I will laugh.
I am honored you want my opinion.
It's good to have somewhere like this to come back to.
Okay, I will list some of your attributes. Here we go. You smell good. You are quite wealthy. You have never done time in a cell, unlike me. Your travels have taken you to a few interesting places, but much of Skyrim is still a mystery to you. You own some choice property. You have more than one place to hang your hat. Let me think. If you insist on fighting with magic, may I suggest more practice? I do not want to be unconscientiously scorched. You are healthy. Try to stay that way. You have been known to influence people's decisions with a mix of body language and craftiness. You are strong, free, and single. Watching you fight one-handed is like watching a fish thrash around with an arrow through its eye. You will get better. You were saved from the executioner's axe by the very force that now threatens this land. You could be our only hope. No pressure. You have great fashion sense. Let's see. You use two-handed weapons from time to time, but they slow you down. With practice, I think you could remedy that. You are not into politics. What else? You are becoming sneaky, but there is still a lot of room for improvement. You are not exactly well read, but you've learned a thing or two. What have I missed? Oh, you have been practicing with your bow. You show promise. Now, how do I conclude? You are becoming a first-rate adventurer, my friend. Good thing too. There are still many dangers you are yet to be tested against. That is that. I hope you enjoyed my insight. Mr. Dragonfly is wondering how he fits into this Doomstrider business. I think he has an overinflated sense of self-importance. I'm thinking you are a good friend. The Summon Inigo spell has more than a few uses. With it I can surprise enemies, get out of trouble in a hurry, and really weird people out. Accepting Langley's apology was very big of you. You showed great restraint. It is quite a story. Are you sitting comfortably? It happened about a week after the Dupan job and my betrayal. After the Dupan deal went sour, I managed to score a little skooma on the road. I used it and sat up all night staring at the stars. I decided I would end my life the next day. After what I did to Felix and you, I thought it best for everybody if I just went away. You are very nice to say such things. I am glad too. I watched the sun come up, then made a noose. My camp was high near the edge of a cliff. I fastened the noose to an overhanging tree branch. I used the last of my skooma, placed the rope around my neck, and jumped off. I remember falling, the twanging noise as the rope went taut, a brief moment of pain, a snapping noise. I thought it was my neck. Then I was falling again. The cliffs rushed past me. I thought, well, the rope didn't work, but the ground will do the trick. A wide ledge hurried up to meet me. I closed my eyes just before the impact. There was a smashing noise. Then I was underwater. I thought, well, the ground didn't kill me, but drowning should end my sorry life. The gods had other plans, though. A current dragged me to the surface, coughing and spluttering. That's when I heard them. I heard clucking. I was in a river being swept through a large cavern. It was dark, but I could make out many cages on the bank. Chickens strutted about outside the cages. I could smell magic. I gathered my strength and hauled myself out of the water. I swear I am not. The skooma may have altered my perception slightly, but I know what I saw. Inside the cages, people were bound and gagged. Ignoring the chickens, I rushed over and tried to open the first cage I came to. It was locked tight. Suddenly, I felt a pain in my foot. A chicken was pecking at me. I kicked it away, but it came back with reinforcements. I was in a flapping, pecking nightmare. I tried to get back in the water, but before I had gone a few steps, I was knocked unconscious. I awoke tied to a chair. There was a foul-smelling man studying me. I could hear the river nearby, but now I was in a crypt of some sort. Chickens and rabbits watched me from behind the smelly man. He said he was going to make me useful. I did not like the sound of that. My options were limited. I had no weapons, but I did have a little time. This fellow liked to talk. I unsheathed my claws and went to work on the ropes that held me to the chair. The man seemed to have a bit to say, so I let him talk. He said he was a powerful wizard and that he had learned how to transform people into animals. Once transformed, he said I would want nothing but to aid him. He said he had a spy network of chickens and rabbits all over Skyrim. Yes, that is what I thought. I asked why only chickens and rabbits. He replied that once I was a chicken, no one would ever take notice of me again. A bear or a mammoth would be too conspicuous. Smaller animals make the best spies. I told him if he turned me into a chicken, I'd peck his eyes out. He told me that the change was not only physical. I would want to do his bidding, nothing else. He said he was using the information his spy network gathered to cause hate across the land. He fed on hate. It made him stronger. I had spied a wooden door in one wall that smelt rotten. As soon as I felt the rope around me give a little, I jumped at the door. It burst open as I hit it, and the chair broke apart. I was free. The wizard screamed in anger and loosed a spell in my direction. I dodged his attack and ran down a long stone tunnel. I heard the smelly wizard begin to laugh. "There is only death that way," he yelled. "Good," I replied. "I've been seeking that all day." I ran for what seemed like forever. Eventually, I came to a vast chamber with a spindly spiral staircase leading up in the center. The floor was littered with dried-out bodies. They had been dead for hundreds of years, but as it turned out, they were still quite feisty. As I made for the staircase, the dead started to groan and move. I jumped over them and began to climb the steps. There were too many Draugr to fight, so I concentrated on climbing. Halfway up, I spotted an opening in the ceiling. The air was fresher up there. That is when I uncharacteristically tripped. I tumbled back down the stairs. Soon the dead reached me. They clawed at me. They held me down. Dry, cracked fingers tore my face to ribbons, giving me these scars. I almost gave up. Then something amazing happened. I realized I wanted to live. I realized that my life was still worth something. I realized that I could be the person my brother knew again. This realization gave me a strength I never knew I had. I fought back, shouting, "No!" again and again. "No, you will not have my life. No, this is not where I die. No!" I struggled to my feet, fighting all the while. I snapped necks, I broke arms, I gouged out eyes. Somehow, I made it back to the staircase. Yes, it was pretty amazing. If I had not spent all that morning almost dying, I wonder if I'd be here talking to you now. Anyway, I reached the top of the stairs, forced open the hatch above, and stepped out into daylight. I was only a few hundred feet from my camp. I stared at the tree with the snapped rope hanging from it for a long time. I knew I owed much, and swore that I would repay any debt I could. When I realized you had survived, I decided that if anyone was going to take my life, it should be you. You know the rest. That is how I got these scars. It is a good tale, yes? Yes, it is. Living it made me the man you see before you. Scars and all.